you know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Out of her own mouth, she endorses all of this madness, this insanity. Welcome to Clown World. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Zeducation, and welcome to another episode of Clown World. Folks, here on these episodes, I test you. I test to see if your brains are working. And if they are, I need you to turn them off. I need you to fall in line. I need you to accept all of this insanity, okay? Accept it as truth, otherwise you're bad. Before we go any further, I wanted to share a definition that we've shared before on this channel, but I think it's perfect. The definition of woke. A state of awareness only achieved by those dumb enough to find injustice in everything except their own behavior. That's what it is. It's a regressive form of thought pushed by, quote unquote, progressives finding injustice in everything, including the sun rising from the east and setting in the west. Everything's bad. There's a group of oppressors and a group that is oppressed. That's being woke. That's the basic definition. There's a lot of bad ideas under the woke umbrella. And when you succumb to the woke mind virus, it changes you. And we're going to see that later on in this video. It's something you never want your kids to latch onto. Okay? Hopefully they latch on to logic and reason and not these things. We'll get to more examples later in this video. But if you are ready for today's game of You Cringe, You Lose, head down and like this video. And if you are new here, please make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now on to today's game of Clown World. If you cringe, you lose, go.
This is how many days you're working.
Oh,
just to pay taxes.
I'm having a heart attack.
And this is how many days you work to pay for things that you need to live on.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half months out of the year, you're working for free.
Oh, that hurts. It looks like Canada, but very similar rates here in the United States, especially if you live in a place like Minnesota, California, New York. We have high state taxes as well. Oh, geez, yeah, that hurts. That hurts. And all they're going to stupid woke ideas, you know, letting kids choose what they want to be when they're 4, 5 years old. Yeah, amazing, guys, amazing. How did we let this happen? That's what I want to know. Don't cringe. Do not cringe, and you have to watch the rest of this video. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care how many heart attacks you have. You got to finish the show. Kamala Harris, 2024.
Kamala, Madam Vice President, do you have anything to say to the American people?
Yes. I want to remind all of us that you exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you, okay?
It's so good.
And let me be clear here. We have a fight ahead of us. It's a hard fight. But we are fighting for more than president. We are fighting, okay, for the freedom of our democracy. Okay? It's very serious. Okay? And so we have to vote. Either voting for divisiveness or with a well of knowledge of what we can be, unburdened by what has been. As my mother would always tell me, you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? We are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back.
Thank you,
That's so good. Even the head movements. It's a perfect impression. The word salad, none of it, it makes sense, but it's so elementary. And it's like, why would you ever, yeah, of course, yes. Time moves on. The clock ticks this way. Like, what a stupid thing. Like, this is what politics is, though. Just fill the void, fill the air with words. Make it sound like you're intelligent when really you're not. The city added parking fees for the beach, so the residents protested. Oh, that's hilarious. What city is this? You know what? I don't condone vandalism, guys, but I also don't condone high tax rates, which we have. And I'm assuming this is America or some other Western country that has taxes up the wazoo. I'm not for those, and then on top of it, charging these other taxes. Use the taxes we already paid you to fix the beach in the parking lot. Don't add another fee on top of all this. So, we joined the White Women's Zoom for Kamala.
I just got word that the White Women's Summit for the election is, so I'm gathered my white woman, and we're going to sit down and watch this Zoom.
Known as Mrs. Frazzle to her combined audience of over 1.5 million followers.
Why do we need to know how many followers she has? I'm confused already.
Is here to help gentle parent us through this election.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it already. Did you just see the face she made?
Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in.
Who is BIPOC women? Is that like Tupac? Something like it?
Yeah.
As white women to step
little
up,
sister.
listen, and get involved this election season. This is a
White women have always voted though. Why would they need to step up this year? I'm confused.
really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way.
They ain't influencing me to do shit.
But
I love this guy.
don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes.
As a white woman, use your privilege for positive changes. Everyone knows this, right?
If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just
What?
take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on. So
I try to tell her the same thing and she don't.
do learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized and use
How do y'all listen to these people? I can't imagine having to live with one of these people. How? How is this real life? And who is BIPOC? Is that Tupac's bisexual cousin?
I don't know how anyone would want to live with someone like that either. You'd have to hate yourself, truly. And that's what a lot of these people do. They hate themselves so much. They put themselves on this pedestal and they look down at groups of people that they deem beneath them, and they have this power that they can help them, the marginalized group that they have labeled. It's very nauseating. But that's part of being woke, right? You know this. You're so enlightened that you know that stuff. So I'm sorry you had to sit through that, man. At least you could laugh about it, but it is pretty tough. Pretty cringy.
You see those maps, red and blue, and there's all that red across there, and Democrats go into depression over it. It's mostly rocks and cows that are in that red area.
Little context. This is Harris's VP pick, Tim Walz. This is what he thinks of you if you live in a rural county. Oh, there's not much there. The cities are what matters. That's where the people are. The people that live out in those red counties, it doesn't matter. It's rocks and cows. That's what he thinks. That's how he views you. This is what we've had to deal with in Minnesota for a long time. And I can assure you that people here in Minnesota, they do not like this guy. Outside of the Twin Cities, the two cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that is a very, very unliked man, and for good reason. Which is funny because this guy talks about uniting and being one Minnesota, which is not the case. Minnesota has never been more divided under his leadership. So, kind of funny to hear him say that. And I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with him on the national stage now. Addie, 33, love God. Virgin, willing to change for the right person, single mom. I don't think it works like that. Don't think it works like that. But all of you in the dating world out there, I feel sorry for you. It's not a good time to be in the dating world. High school girl has a mental breakdown after receiving Billie Eilish Nike Air Force mushroom. What? Oh my.
Oh, those are absolutely gorgeous.
Like is she having a breakdown because she's happy? All right then. You shouldn't value those things as much and value celebrities as much because they don't care. Teach your kids, folks. Teach your kids.
LA City Council members Hugo Soto Martinez and Nithya Raman were on hand today to help remove the signs. They say the no cruising and no U-turn signs were put up in the 1990s to prevent people in the gay community from meeting up with other gay people.
What?
I was also surprised that
What?
these U-turn signs
Stop.
were still.
Shut up.
And at first, you know.
You know what? You don't get any more. Shut up. It means don't turn around. Don't do a U-turn. Shut up. Enough. See, again, woke. Everything is problematic. Everything is oppressive. Everything has a good group of people and a bad group of people. That's what being woke is. There, U-turn signs. That's where we are. People should drink less coffee to combat climate change. Coffee's bad. Guys, I'm Zeducating you. I'm trying to get you on the woke bandwagon. This is what we do here, okay? I'm working on it myself, but no more coffee. Take down the U-turn signs. This is the ultimate state of our society. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro challenges Elon Musk to fight on national television. I accept. Dude, this is real. We live in a South Park episode. I love this. I totally back Elon Musk. Truly, I do. I hope this happens. We have one of like the inventor of the modern times, right? Elon Musk going against a Marxist president, the leader of a country, challenging each other to a boxing match. That doesn't happen in real life. We're in a simulation. U.S. national debt, 35 trillion. Yeah. You know what? I think it was like a week later, it was at 35.1 trillion. And right now, as this video comes out, we're probably at 35.2, 35.3. It's just going like this. So while we squabble over these insane issues highlighted in this video, the U-turns, the coffee, while we have these weird conversations that's a thing, this is happening. The most important issue that there is, truly, the devaluation of our dollar. As the debt goes up, the worse it's going to get. And it's going up exponentially. Boneless chicken doesn't have to be boneless, rules U.S. court. I'm so happy we have that cleared up. You get a bone in your chicken nugget, it's okay. You can't sue for it because sometimes bones are supposed to be in the boneless. Yeah. The court ruled on it, man. The winner of the triathlon after swimming in the scene. Dude. You guys seen that? At the Olympics, they're like all these swimmers, they're getting sick from going into the river in France. Like some of them had to drop out of the race. These world-renowned swimmers, triathletes, and they had to drop out because the river was so polluted. This entire Olympics has been a disaster all around. Biden adding will ban federal government from using plastic cutlery to combat climate change. Yeah. And they're doing it. They're doing it. Yeah. Gotta use your hands now. American IQs are dropping. Here's why. It might not be a bad thing. You know, I could have guessed this before this article came out. But how is that a good thing? When people are dumber, they do what they're told more. Is that it? Logitech has an idea for a forever mouse that requires a subscription. Get the hell out of here. No. Everything has a subscription. It started off as like, you know, your content creators, which we have $1.99 a month. Shameless plug. I hope you join us in the morning shows. It's actually a good time. But now you have your printer, your mouse, your app on your phone. Like every app has a subscription. It's insane.
I'm childless. I have cats. I am the biggest nightmare of this JD Vance. I am a lady who loves her pets. They are good for taking care of all the rest.
This is great.
Woman. This is cat. We are an item and together Democrats. Get out your notebook. We have a quote. In November, we are all going to vote. Childless cat lady, I am running the whole country. Childless cat lady. Watch out, JD. Childless cat lady.
Do the meow again.
Running the whole country. Childless cat lady. You better watch your back, JD.
Meow, meow. I can't believe that's real. It's got to be real. I hope there's like just an ounce of humor in there. Like I hope this wasn't full serious, because that was, that's a little cringe. But you got your point across. You were offended. You're offended by JD Vance. I don't think it's necessarily the own on JD that you think it is, but well produced, decent beat. You could fist bump to it. Kind of funny as well, even though maybe you didn't mean it to be funny. So I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Over 50% of liberal white women under 30 have a mental health issue. Are we worried yet? Dude, just after the cat lady song. Oh. I feel like that's relevant. I really do. I feel like that's relevant just after we watch the cat lady song. That's a real stat, by the way. From Pew Research. Massive hair dye reaction leaves man looking like Megamind villain. Oh, you poor bastard. Hair dye, this is a PSA. I don't know what happened here, but yeah. Just, you're a cautionary tale, buddy. It is what it is. Hope you're doing all right.
All the things that you have held back out through your body right now.
Like, how are we taking these people seriously? That's my thought here. And back to the 50%. 50%, that comes into play again. Liberal protest.
What do we want? Free healthcare, walkable cities, a living wage, affordable housing. And what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? Absolutely nothing. And what are we going to do if the Democrats don't give it to us? Vote for them anyway.
That's great. My favorite example of that is student loans. The student loan forgiveness for like 3 elections now, 2022, 2020, and 2018, promised to forgive the student loan debt, right? They've been promising that for a long time. They haven't delivered. I think like 5 million people have got it forgiven out of 330 million in this country. So a very small fraction of people. And you have to be qualified, obviously, to like the crazy standards. The court shot it down. The court shot down the student loan forgiveness plan because it wasn't going to work to begin with. They said that. Everyone was saying that. People bought into it. They voted because of it. And they got duped. And they still voted for them in the next election. It's crazy. Again, back to IQs lowering. It's a bad thing. It is. All around.
Black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There's a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling. I think you're falling into a trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American." That's it.
Don, I'm not falling in a trap. I'm not falling in. Wait a minute, let me finish. Hold on. I'm not falling into a trap by that. When she goes down her lineage, many Africans landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands. So she could indeed
Jamaica's
be
not America.
African American mixed with others, but she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was
Jamaica
born
did not
here.
Come out of Jim Crow.
Okay, well
I'm
let's go into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
Ted Cruz.
His father
This
was
is not
Cuban.
about Ted Cruz. You're changing
I know,
the subject.
but you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you are.
She's a black woman. I don't know what you want.
Cruz.
Okay.
Don Lemon. Don. I can't believe you were questioning that. Wow, I'm old enough to remember when everyone got mad for someone else doing that recently. Because she's kind of a chameleon. She goes to voters and says whatever she is with that group, right? I identify as the same as you. Identify as the same as you. And you, and you, and you. It's a politician. It's a typical politician. Like I said, the chameleon.
In a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
For what? What did he do? He's a lame duck president. Oh, he passed the Inflation Reduction Act. Passing a bill means nothing. You're printing money off, issuing the bonds, devaluing the dollar further with a bunch of junk in a bill. That doesn't do anything. That's not being notable. The guy could barely wake up at 10 a.m. Belongs on Mount Rushmore. Get out of here.
We're told that no police are on the scene right now. And Dave, we can actually see people.
Yeah, they're just picking. That guy right there has 4 boxes.
Live TV.
That guy's walking out with 2 boxes, looking right at our cameraman, Lou. Lou, I hope you're safe out there. This is obviously happening
Chicago.
right now.
What a great
Unfolding at
place.
33rd and King Drive.
Look at
that.
Someone smashed the
Proud
window.
of it too.
She's clearly on camera. You can identify her now. And here's another woman. She's walking out with, I don't know what that is.
On live TV. That's amazing.
With some tag.
You ask the mayor of Chicago, though, like, hey, is this bad? He'll say, oh, no, they did it because they had to. Something stupid like that. The guy's nuts. Yeah, he's about as woke as it gets. Public school grading scale. Facebook post by California parents. When did this become the recommended grading standard? I guess my child doesn't have to work so hard anymore to get an A. A, 84 to 100. B, 64 to 84? Dude, C, 44 to 64? D, 24. You literally have to show up to get a C. Are you kidding me? What a waste of time if you try. But again, you have to expand that scale because it's offensive. If someone can't get a 90 to 100 and get an A, the old-fashioned way, that hurts feelings. The kid might feel left out. This is how we're getting into these problems. Teaching kids that it's okay to be mediocre. Less than mediocre.
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times. When I was Attorney General, I learned that the California Department of Corrections, which was a client of mine, I didn't get to choose my clients.
Right, a client of the Attorney General.
A client of the Attorney General, of the Office of Attorney General, that they were standing in the way of surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. And there was a specific case. And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need. And I believe it was not only, I know it was historic in California, but I believe actually it may have been one of the first, if not the first in the country, where I pushed for that policy in a Department of Corrections. And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch. Turn that off.
Oh, that's cringe. Oof. Democracy in action. Didn't win a single primary. No, not one single vote, and now she's the nominee, and they have to deal with this. Can you imagine if she gets to be president? We have to deal with that for 4 years. Yikes.
Hot mom and a mini dress. Hot mom and a mini dress. Daddy boss and no pants. Daddy boss and no pants. Daddy boss and no pants. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Das sneaker and road case. Das sneaker and road case. Das sneaker and road case.
That guy's just trying to clock in and clock out, man. Trying to do his job. Didn't we ever find out what company that was? Like, cringe. Empowering. I'm sorry, empowering. Before. After. What a difference, and irreversible difference. That's the part that's sad about it. Irreversible and promoted by people like Kamala Harris and her team instead of sorting out the root cause. How would you do in today's video? Did you cringe at all? If you did, you lose and you're bad. Okay, and you haven't hopped on board the woke train and you have some work to do. Okay, so we'll test you again in the future. Let me know how you did down in the comments. While you're down there, please like this video. Please help us get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Zeducation.
For the children.
Idiots.